Chapter 30. Education. Whoever loves his son will use the rod on him, so that later he may rejoice because of him. Whoever disciplines his child will be pleased with him, and will boast of him among acquaintances. Whoever teaches his son will make his enemies jealous, and will rejoice in him before his friends. Though the father dies, it is as if he were not dead, for he has left behind one like himself. While he lived, he looked upon his son and rejoiced. And when death came, he was not distressed. Against his enemies he leaves behind a defender, and for his friends, one who repays kindness. Whoever pampers his son will have to bind up his wounds, and his heart will tremble at every cry. An unbroken horse becomes stubborn, and a child left to himself becomes unruly. Indulge your child, and he will frighten you. Play with him, and he will bring you sorrow. Do not laugh with him, or you will suffer with him, and in the end gnash your teeth. While he is young, do not give him free rein. While he is still a child, discipline him firmly, lest he become stubborn and disobey you. Train and educate your child, so that you may not suffer from his insolence. Health. Better to be poor and healthy and strong, than rich and afflicted in body. Health and vigor are better than all gold, and a strong body than endless wealth. There is no wealth better than bodily health, and no happiness greater than the joy of the heart. Death is better than a bitter life, and eternal rest than continual sickness. Delicacies poured out before one who has no appetite are like food offerings placed upon a grave. What use is an offering to an idol? For it can neither eat nor smell? So it is with the one whom the Lord afflicts with sickness. Like a eunuch embracing a virgin and sighing, so is the one who looks with longing and sighs. Joy. Do not surrender your soul to sorrow, and do not burden yourself with anxiety. A joyful heart is the life of a person, and gladness lengthens one's days. Soothe your soul and comfort your heart, and put sorrow far from you. For sorrow has destroyed many people, and it is of no benefit. Jealousy and anger shorten life, and worry brings old age before its time. A cheerful heart makes for a good appetite, and enables one to enjoy food and drink. Chapter 31. Wealth. Staying up at night for wealth wears down the body, and anxiety over it steals restful sleep. Worrying about livelihood also prevents sleep, and in serious illness there is no peaceful rest. The rich who labor increase their wealth, and when they stop working they seek pleasure. The poor who labor still lack food, and when they stop working they fall into poverty and want. Greed for money cannot be righteous, and chasing profit leads to wrongdoing. Money has caused many to fall, and it will lead them to ruin. It is a trap for those who are devoted to it, and every fool will be caught in it. Blessed is the rich person who is without fault, and who does not pursue wealth and money. Who is he that we may call him blessed? For among his people he causes admiration? Who has passed through such a test and been made perfect? He has reason to boast. Who could sin and not sin? Do evil and not do it? His wealth will endure, and his virtue will be praised by the community. Feasting. When sitting before a lavish table, do not exclaim, "How abundant it is!" Remember that a greedy eye is not good. What creature is worse than the eye? It weeps at everything it sees, out of desire. Do not reach out for what another has chosen. Do not compete with them over the same dish. Consider yourself as you would another, and reflect carefully in all your actions. Of the dishes set before you, eat like a human being. Do not chew greedily lest you be despised. Show good manners and be the first to stop eating. Do not be gluttonous or you will cause annoyance. When sitting with many at table, do not be the first to reach for food. A well-mannered person is satisfied even with little, and will sleep peacefully on his bed. Moderate eating brings restful sleep, and one rises early with a calm spirit. But the glutton not only loses sleep, he is also afflicted with vomiting and diarrhea. If you are forced to eat beyond measure, rise and go outside and vomit, and you will feel relief. My child, listen to me and do not despise this, and in time you will see that I speak truth. In all your actions, keep moderation, and no illness will come near you. A generous host is praised by all, and people speak long of his kindness. A stingy host is talked about in every village, and the world is right to mention his meanness. Wine. When drinking wine, do not act like a hero, for wine has brought many to ruin and disgrace. As fire tests the strength of iron, so wine tests the hearts of people. In the contest of the drunkard's strength, wine brings life and joy to people. If it is drunk in moderation, what is life without wine? For wine was created to gladden people. A cheerful heart and joyful spirit come from drinking wine at the right time and measure. But how bitter it is for the soul when drunkenness brings insult and collapse. Wine intoxication makes the foolish rage and bring disaster upon themselves. Strength is wasted and wounds are received. At a banquet, do not provoke your table companion. Do not insult him while he is enjoying himself. Do not speak harsh words. And do not demand repayment, lest he become enraged. Chapter 32. Feasting. Have you been appointed as the host? Do not put on airs. Among the guests, behave as one of the company. Care for them, and then take your seat. When you have fulfilled all your duties, then sit down and join in the enjoyment, and receive the crown for your good organization. If you are an elder, speak, for it is fitting. Speak with understanding, but do not interrupt the music. While music is playing, do not talk excessively, for that is untimely instruction. A banquet with songs and harp music is like a gold ring set with a ruby. Fine wine and pleasant music are like a gold frame set with an emerald. If you are young, speak only when necessary. And when you are invited, speak no more than twice. Speak briefly, with few words but much meaning, as one who understands the matter and also knows when to be silent. Among those in authority, do not act as an equal. And when others speak, do not chatter. Like lightning flashing before thunder, favor awaits the humble person. When the banquet ends, stand up and do not linger. Go home at once, do not loiter. At home, enjoy yourself and do as you please. But do not speak arrogantly and incur sin. In all these things, praise your Creator, who has given you abundant blessings. Fear of God. Those who fear the Lord accept instruction. Those who seek Him early in the morning will find favor. Whoever studies the law will be filled with it. But to the hypocrite the law becomes a stumbling block. Those who fear the Lord discern what is right. Their good deeds shine like light. The sinner rejects correction and finds excuses to do as he pleases. The thoughtful person does not despise another's advice. Foreigners and the arrogant know nothing of fear. Do not act without reflection, lest you regret what you have done. Do not step on a rough path, lest you stumble upon stones. Do not be overconfident on smooth roads. Even in your own household, be cautious. In all your actions, be confident, for that is also keeping the commandment. Those who trust in the law hold fast to the commandments. Those who trust in the Lord will never suffer loss. Chapter 33. Those who fear the Lord will encounter no disaster. And even if they are tested, they will be delivered. The wise do not hate the law, but the hypocrite who keeps the law is like a ship in a storm. The understanding place their full trust in the law. For them, the law is trustworthy, like an oracle to one who consults it. Whatever you must say, prepare it in advance, and in this way you will be heard. Gather your knowledge before you respond. The heart of a fool is like a wheel. His reasoning is like the axle of a spinning wheel. The one who likes to mock his friends is like a stallion that neighs, no matter who rides him. Unequal conditions. Why is one day greater than another? When all light comes from the sun? It is because they were distinguished in the mind of the Lord. He appointed different seasons and different feast days. Some days he exalted and sanctified, and others he numbered among ordinary days. All people come from the earth, and even Adam was formed from the earth. By his great wisdom, the Lord distinguished one person from another, and appointed different paths for them. Some he raised up and blessed. Some he sanctified and brought near. And others he cursed and humbled, casting them down from their position, as clay in the hands of the potter, so that it is shaped as he wills. So are human beings in the hands of their Maker, who repays each according to his judgment. There is good and evil, life and death. So also there are the righteous and the sinners. Therefore look upon all the works of the Most High, each set against its counterpart. As for me, the last of all, I have stayed up late, like one gleaning after the harvesters. By the blessing of the Lord, I have kept pace. And like every worker I have filled my wine vat. Understand that I have labored not for myself alone, but for all who seek knowledge. Listen to me, O leaders of the people. Give ear, O rulers of the community. Self-reliance. As long as you live, do not let your wife, brothers, or friends rule over you. Do not hand over your property to another, lest you later regret it and have to ask for it back. As long as you live, while there is breath in you, do not surrender yourself to anyone. For it is better that your children beg from you than that you depend on their hand. In all your works, maintain control, so that your reputation is not diminished. When the end of life comes, at the time of death, then distribute your inheritance. Slaves. Fodder, the whip, and heavy burdens are for the donkey. Bread, discipline, and work are for the servant. With discipline you will make him work, and you will find rest. If you loosen the reins, he will seek freedom. A yoke and a bridle bring the donkey into line. And torture and punishment bring an unruly servant into order. Make him work, lest he become idle. For idleness leads to evil. Put him to the tasks he is required to do. If he does not obey, put him in chains. But do not be harsh with anyone. And do nothing contrary to justice. If you have only one servant, treat him as yourself. For you purchased him with your own blood. If you have only one servant, treat him as a brother. For you need him as you need your own life. If you treat him badly and he runs away, where will you find him again? Chapter 34. Dreams. A foolish person feeds on empty and false hopes. A senseless man flies high on the wings of dreams. To believe in dreams is like catching a shadow and chasing the wind. Dreams only reflect what is outside, like a mirror showing a face. From what is defiled, can anything become clean? From what is false, can anything become true? Divination, casting lots, and dreams are all vain, like the imaginations of a woman in labor. If it is not from the Most High, who wishes to visit you and sends it, then do not give it any attention. For dreams have led many astray. They have fallen because they trusted in them. Without deceit, the law is fulfilled. With truthful words, wisdom is completed. A journey teaches wisdom. One who travels understands much. A man of experience speaks with insight. One who has not experienced much has shallow understanding. But the traveler is clever and resourceful. In my journeys I have seen many things, and understood much that I cannot fully describe. Many times my life was in danger, but through experience I was saved from death. Those who fear the Lord will live long lives, for they trust in their Savior. Whoever fears the Lord has no fear of anything. They do not tremble, for their hope is in him. Blessed is the soul that fears the Lord. In whom does it trust? And who is its support? The Lord watches over those who love him. He is a mighty shield and a strong support, a shelter from the scorching wind and shade at midday. He keeps from stumbling and protects from falling. He lifts up the soul, enlightens the eyes, and grants health, life, and blessing. Sacrifices. To offer what is unjust as a sacrifice is mockery. The gift of the wicked will not be accepted. The offering of the wicked is not pleasing to the Most High. It is not by many sacrifices that sin is forgiven. To offer what belongs to the poor as a sacrifice is like slaughtering a son before his father. The poor man's bread is his life. Whoever takes it away is a bloodsucker. To rob another of his livelihood is to kill him. To take the wages of a hired worker is to shed blood. One builds, another destroys. What profit is there but hardship? One prays, another curses. Which voice will the master of all hear? One who touches a dead body is purified, and then touches it again. What benefit is such purification? So also the one who fasts for sin, and then returns to the same sins again. Who will listen to his prayer? What profit is there in such humility? Chapter 35. The Law and Sacrifices. Keeping the law multiplies offerings. Holding fast to the commandments is a peace offering. Showing gratitude is a grain offering. And performing almsgiving is a sacrifice of praise. Turning away from evil pleases the Lord. And ending injustice is an atonement offering. Yet do not appear before the Lord empty-handed. For all that is to be offered comes by command. The sacrifice of the righteous is like fat poured on the altar, and sends forth a sweet fragrance before the Most High. The sacrifice of the righteous is accepted, and its memorial portion will not be forgotten. Honor the Lord with a generous heart, and do not withhold the firstfruits of your hands. In whatever you give, let your face be joyful. In tithes, give with gladness and cheer. With a generous heart, offer to the Most High, according to what He has given you, and according to your ability. For the Lord is the one who rewards, and He will repay you sevenfold. God is just. Do not offer a bribe, He will not accept it. Do not rely on unjust sacrifices. For the Lord is the judge, and He shows no partiality. He does not favor the powerful against the poor, but hears the cry of the oppressed. He does not ignore the prayer of the orphan, nor the plea of the widow. Do not the tears of the widow run down her cheeks? And does not her cry accuse the one who causes her suffering? The one who serves the Lord according to His will be accepted, and his prayer will reach the clouds. The prayer of the poor pierces the clouds. They are not comforted until it reaches its goal. They will not depart until the Most High looks down and judges the righteous and executes justice. The Lord does not delay, nor does He make them wait long. The time will come when He will break the backs of the ruthless and repay vengeance upon the nations. The time will come when He will destroy the proud and shatter the scepters of the wicked. The time will come when He will repay each person according to their deeds and judge human actions according to their intentions. The time will come when He will vindicate His people and make them rejoice in His mercy. How beautiful is His mercy in times of distress, like clouds bringing rain in a time of drought. Chapter 36. Prayer for Israel's deliverance and restoration. Lord, God of all, have mercy and look upon us. Make all nations fear you. Stretch out your hand against the foreign nations, so that they may see clearly that you are mighty. You have shown them that you are holy in your dealings with us. So let us also see that you are great in your dealings with the nations, so that they may know you, as we have always known. Besides you, O Lord, there is no other God. Renew your wonders, and perform other signs again. Let your mighty arm be glorified and exalted. Show your anger and pour out your wrath. Destroy the enemy and crush the foe. Shorten the time and remember your covenant, so that people may proclaim your mighty deeds. May those who escape be consumed by your fiery anger, and may those who oppress your people be destroyed. Strike the heads of the hostile rulers. Those who boast, we alone, who is like us? Gather all the tribes of Jacob, Lord. Restore to them their inheritance, as you gave it at the beginning. Have mercy on Israel, O Lord, the people who bear your name, whom you have chosen as your firstborn. Have mercy on your holy city Jerusalem, your sanctuary and place of rest. Fill Zion with your praise, and let your temple shine with your glory. Bear witness in favor of what you created from the beginning. Fulfill the prophetic words spoken in your name. Reward those who wait faithfully for you, so that your prophets may be trusted. Lord, hear the prayers of those who call upon you. As Aaron once blessed your people, then all the people on earth will acknowledge that you are the Lord, the eternal God. Discernment of good and evil. The stomach takes in every kind of food, yet some foods are better than others. The tongue tastes the flavor of game, and the discerning heart detects lies. A crooked heart brings sorrow, but experienced people can deal with it. Choosing a wife. A woman will accept any man as a husband, but among women some are better than others. A woman's beauty delights the eye, and this is what pleases men most. If she also speaks kindly and lovingly, then no man is happier than her husband. To marry a wife is to begin a household, to gain a helper and a pillar of support. Without a fence, a farm is plundered. Without a woman, a man wanders and groans. Who would trust a thief? Who goes from city to city? So it is with a man without a home. At night he lies down wherever he can. Chapter 37. False friends. Every friend says, I am a friend as well. But there is a friend who is only a name. Is it not a sorrow unto death? When friends and companions become enemies? Oh, evil inclination! By what mold were you formed? That you spread deceit across the earth? There are those who rejoice when they see your joy. But in times of trouble they turn away. Some share a meal with you in hardship. But in battle they protect only themselves. Do not forget friends in your heart. And do not ignore them when you are rich. Counselors. Every counselor gives advice. But some give counsel for their own benefit. Be cautious of one who gives advice for gain. First find out what he wants. He gives counsel only for his own advantage. Do not let him exploit you. He says, you are on the right path. And then stands far away, watching what happens to you. Do not seek advice from one who looks at you with suspicion. And do not reveal your plans to your rival. Do not seek advice from a woman about her rival. From a coward about warfare. From a merchant about buying, or a buyer about selling. Do not seek advice from the jealous about gratitude. From the unkind about charity. From the lazy about any work. From a hired worker about the end of his term. Or from a lazy servant about a great task. Do not ask such people for advice about anything. But always go to a righteous person. Someone you know keeps the commandments. Someone who shares your heart and understands your faults. Then follow your own judgment in what you do. For no one is more trustworthy than that. Often a person's own heart reveals more truth than 7 watchmen on a high tower. But above all, pray to the Most High to guide you in the way of truth. True wisdom and false wisdom. Before beginning a task, one must think. And before acting, one must deliberate. From the heart arise thoughts. Directed toward 4 things. Good and evil, life and death. But all 4 are governed by the tongue. There is one who teaches others and is wise, yet is useless to himself. The one who is argumentative is hated. And such a person will starve. Truly, he is not given grace by the Lord. For he has no wisdom at all. There is one who is wise, but only for his own benefit. For his knowledge serves only himself. The truly wise person instructs the people. And the fruit of his knowledge is trustworthy. The wise enjoy abundant blessings. And all who see them call them blessed. The days of each person are numbered and limited. But the days of Israel are without number. The wise gain the trust of the people. And their name endures forever. Moderation in life. My child, in life be moderate in strength. And do not indulge in what is harmful. For not everything is suitable for everyone. And not everything pleases everyone. When attending a feast, do not overeat or drink excessively. Do not rush greedily toward food. For gluttony brings illness. And overeating causes sickness. Many have died because of excessive eating and drinking. But those who are careful live long lives. Chapter 38. Medicine and illness. Honor the physician, for everyone needs him. And because the profession of healing was established by the Lord. Indeed, the power to heal comes from the Most High. It is a gift bestowed by the King of Heaven. The physician is proud because of his experience. And makes even people of rank show him respect. God makes the earth produce medicinal plants. The wise do not dare to despise them. Was it not by a piece of wood that in ancient times water became sweet? So that people saw the effectiveness of the wood? It is also God who gives human beings understanding. So that they may glorify him for the wondrous works he does. Through this, he heals and ends pain. While the pharmacist only prepares mixtures. Thus his work continues. Until humanity is brought to peace. My child, when you are sick, do not treat it lightly. But pray to the Lord, and he will heal you. Abandon wrongdoing, act rightly. And cleanse your heart from all sin. Offer fragrant incense and fine flour as a memorial offering. And pour oil on the sacrifice according to your ability. Then you will call the physician. For he too was created by the Lord. Do not let him depart, you must have him. At times your health is in the hands of physicians. For they also pray to the Lord. To grant them remedies. To reduce pain, to heal, and to save lives. Whoever sins against the Creator, may he be stricken with illness. Mourning. My child, weep for the dead. Sing lamentation as one overwhelmed with sorrow. Give burial in proper form, do not neglect the grave. Beat your breast and weep bitterly. Hold mourning properly. For 1 or 2 days, lest people speak ill. After that, try not to remain in grief. For sorrow leads to death. And a sorrowful heart drains strength. When you bring the dead to burial, sorrow remains. But who would wish to grieve for a lifetime? Do not let your heart sink into distress. Do not let your heart be carried away by sorrow. Think of death and cast away that state of mind. Do not forget, once someone has gone, they do not return. You can do nothing for the dead. And only bring misfortune upon yourself. Remember, my fate is as yours. Yesterday it was my turn, today it is yours. When the dead have rested, let your mind rest as well, stop remembering them. When the soul of the dead has departed, try to console yourself. Manual labor. By making use of free time, the scribe attains wisdom. One who is less occupied with manual work and farming is more likely to become wise. How can a farmer who holds the plow and hoe become wise? Thinking only of pride in the goad. Knowing how to control oxen and make them work. And only talking about cattle? He only cares about plowing deeply and digging thoroughly. Staying up late and rising early to fatten young oxen. Likewise, all carpenters and masons. Those who labor day and night. The engravers. Who try to change various images, so as to reproduce them exactly. And then stay up late to complete their work. The blacksmith sitting by the anvil is the same. Fixing his eyes on the heated iron. With fire rising to burn his skin and flesh. He works intensely in the heat of the furnace. The sound of the hammer rings in his ears. Yet his eyes never leave the pattern. He is determined to finish his work. And does not mind staying up late to perfect it. The potter working likewise is always turning the wheel. Constantly concerned about his work. For the task requires careful calculation. He shapes the clay with his hand. Presses it with his foot to soften it. Carefully strives to make it smooth. And stays up late to clean the kiln. All these people trust in their own hands. Each is skilled in his own work. Without such people, no city would be built. No one would live there, no one would come and go. Yet they are not invited to public assemblies. They have no position in society. They do not sit on the judge's bench. And do not understand judicial decisions. They lack culture and critical thinking. They do not know how to speak eloquently. Nevertheless, they keep the world in existence. Even though they only care about their own trade. Chapter 39. Scribe. The one who devotes all his soul to the contemplation of the law of the Most High is not like that. He seeks wisdom from all the elders, constantly studying the prophecies. He carefully preserves what famous men have said and goes deeply into complex parables. He also studies the hidden meaning of proverbs and labors over mysterious parables. He always carries out his duties among those of high office and great authority, and is often present beside those in power. He is allowed to travel abroad, because he has learned well the good and bad among people. Early in the morning, he eagerly goes to pray to the Lord Most High, the one who created him. He opens his mouth to plead with the Lord, asking him to forgive sins. If it pleases the great Lord, he will be full of understanding, pouring out words of wisdom like abundant dew. Using prayer to bless the Lord, he will use his judgments and knowledge rightly, and will reflect on lofty and hidden mysteries. He will make clear the teaching he has received, and will take pride in the covenant law of God. Many will praise his understanding. That understanding will never be forgotten. His image will not fade, and his good name will endure through generations. All nations will speak of his wisdom, and the community will raise their voice in praise. If he lives long, he will leave a reputation greater than 1,000 others. and will be satisfied when he rests in eternal sleep. Call to praise God. My heart is filled with thoughts like the full moon. These are the things I still wish to speak. O faithful children, listen to my words. Be like the rose growing beside flowing water. Like incense that spreads a fragrant aroma. Like the blooming lily. Join your voices together in one song. Praise the Lord for all his works. Glorify the name of the Lord, praise and bless him. Sing and give thanks. All the works of the Lord are completely good. Each command he gives is carried out at its proper time. There is no reason to ask, what is this, and why does it happen? For in due time all things will be explained. He speaks one word and the waters gather into a mass. He speaks one sentence and the waters are stored in reservoirs. When he commands, all things proceed as he wills. No one can oppose his work of salvation. The works of mankind. All take place before him. There is no escaping so that he does not see. That is impossible. From eternity to eternity. He sees all things. Nothing is strange before him. There is no reason to ask. What is this, and why does it happen? Whatever is created has its purpose. The Lord's blessing flows like a river, covering the earth like a flood. The inheritance the Lord assigns to the nations is his wrath. As when he once turned water into salt. The ways of the Lord are straight for the faithful, but full of obstacles for the wicked. From the beginning God created good for the good, and evil for the wicked. What is necessary for human life is water, fire, iron and salt, millet flour, milk and honey, grape juice, oil and clothing. All these things become good and beneficial for the holy, but bring harm to sinners. There are winds created by the Lord for punishment. When his anger rises, he increases their destructive power. And before they fade away, they become extremely terrifying. Thus the Creator's anger is calmed. Fire, hail, famine, and death. All are created for punishment. Beasts' teeth, scorpions, and cobras. Together with the sword for punishment. And for destroying the wicked. All these rejoice in carrying out his command. On the earth, whenever necessary, they are ready to carry out the word of the Lord at the proper time. Therefore, from the beginning, I have been convinced. I have reflected and written. All the works of the Lord are entirely good. At the right time and season he provides for every need. There is no reason to say, this is worse than that. For in due time everything will be seen as good. So now, with all your heart and in a loud voice, sing. And bless the holy name of the Lord. Chapter 40. The misery of human life. From the moment of birth from the mother's womb, until returning to the Mother Earth's womb, bearing the human condition. Everyone carries a worry in their heart. As descendants of Adam, bound to repay the debt of earthly life. What constantly haunts and makes the human heart fearful and anxious is the thought of waiting for death. From kings on glorious thrones, to the lowest of the low with mud-stained hands. From those with belts and robes of honor to those in rags and tatters. Everyone is full of anger and jealousy. Full of anxiety and worry, then death, then hatred and quarrels. When resting on the bed, night sleep raises other thoughts. Just having rested, if it can be called rest at all. In dreams, as in daytime, people are terrified by what they see. Like one fleeing from the battlefield. When they escape, they wake up. And are surprised that they were afraid for nothing. All flesh, from human to animal. But sinners 7 times more, cannot avoid death and bloodshed, quarrels and stabbing. Calamity, famine, ruin, disaster. All these things were created for the wicked. Because of their sins the flood disaster came. All that comes from the earth will return to the earth. And what comes from water returns to the sea. Some sayings. Bribery and injustice will eventually disappear. But faithfulness will endure forever. The wealth of the wicked will be like a dried up stream. Like thunder in a rainstorm. The one who gives generously will surely rejoice. The one who turns away will perish because others abandon him. The descendants of the wicked will be like a tree without shoots. Like roots that do not cling cleanly to hard rock. Reeds growing abundantly by every stream and riverbank. Will be uprooted first before all other plants. Kindness is like a paradise full of blessings. and almsgiving will endure forever. To live independently and have work is truly pleasant. But finding treasure is even more fortunate. One who has children is like one who builds a city. Both leave a good name to posterity. But a good wife is more precious. Wine and music make the heart joyful. But love of wisdom is more precious still. The flute and harp make singing pleasant. But gentle words are even sweeter to hear. Beauty and grace make people pleased to look at. But a green field is even more worth seeing. Friends and companions meet at times. Like husband and wife living together. Having brothers is to help one another in times of trouble. But almsgiving is even more helpful. Silver and gold bring confidence and stability. But good advice is more valuable still. Wealth and strength make people trust. But fear of the Lord is far greater. With fear of the Lord, nothing is lacking. Having feared the Lord, there is no need to seek help from anyone. The fear of the Lord is like a paradise full of blessings. Protecting and supporting more than all glory. Begging. My child, do not go begging to live. It is better to die. One who secretly watches another's table, even if alive, is hardly living as a human. For a parasite makes oneself unclean. But the intelligent and well-educated person will not behave like that. The mouth of a beggar is sweet like melted sugar cane. But his heart is like a furnace of fire. Chapter 41. Death, how bitter the thought of you is, O death! To one who lives at ease among his possessions. To one who has no worries. To one who prospers in everything. To one who is still strong enough to enjoy life's pleasures. How welcome your decree is, O death! To the needy and the failing in strength. To the very old, burdened with many cares. To the one who has lost hope and patience. Do not fear the sentence of death. Remember those who have gone before you. And those who will come after you. This is the decree of the Lord for all mortal beings. Why resist what the Most High has willed? Whether a person lives 10 years, 100 years, or even 1,000. In the realm of the dead, no one complains. The fate of the wicked. The children of sinners become a detestable brood, keeping company with the wicked. The inheritance of the children of sinners will surely perish. Their disgrace will continue from generation to generation. Children reproach an ungodly father, for they suffer shame because of him. Woe to you, O wicked people! For you have abandoned the law of the Most High God. If you are born for a curse. And when you die, your portion will be a curse. Everything that comes from the earth returns to the earth. So it is with the wicked. From a curse they pass to destruction. The body of a human being is but a passing thing. But a good name never fades away. Take care to preserve a good name. For it will endure longer than countless treasures of gold. No matter how happy a person's life may be, it is limited. But a good name endures forever. Shame. My children, hold fast to instruction with confidence. Wisdom that is hidden, treasure that is buried. What good are either of them? One who hides his foolishness is better than one who hides his wisdom. Therefore listen to what is truly shameful. To be ashamed of everything is not good. Not everyone judges every matter correctly. Be ashamed. Before your father and mother of sexual immorality. Before rulers and people of authority of lying. Before judges and magistrates of lawbreaking. Before the assembly and the people of ungodly conduct. Before friends and companions of injustice and wrongdoing. Before neighbors and fellow citizens of theft. Be ashamed of breaking an oath or a promise, or of stretching out your hand to beg for bread, of insulting someone when receiving or giving, or of ignoring those who greet you, of staring at a prostitute, or turning away from your relatives, of taking another person's property or gifts, or gazing lustfully at a married woman, of pursuing another man's servant girl. What business have you near her bed? Be ashamed of humiliating your friends. If you have given something, do not disgrace the recipient. Of repeating what you have heard, or revealing confidential matters. In this way you will learn what true shame is, and you will gain favor with everyone. Chapter 42. As for the following matters, do not be ashamed. And do not sin out of regard for anyone. Do not be ashamed of the law of the Most High, and his covenant, or of rendering a just judgment for a foreigner, of dealing fairly with friends and companions, or of dividing an inheritance among friends, of using accurate weights and measures, or of making either much or little profit, of the gains of trade, of being strict in the discipline of your children, or of severely punishing a wicked servant. With a meddlesome woman, it is good to keep things sealed. And where there are many prying eyes, lock things securely. Whatever you hand over, weigh and count it. And for every transaction, whether outgoing or incoming, keep records. Do not be ashamed to instruct the foolish and the ignorant, or an old man who argues with the young. By doing so you will be truly well educated, and will be regarded as experienced by everyone. A father's concerns for his daughter. For a father, a daughter is a source of constant anxiety, and concern for her robs him of sleep. While she is young, he worries that she may remain unmarried. When she is married, he worries that she may be hated. While she is a virgin, he fears she may be seduced and become pregnant in her father's house. When she is with her husband, he fears she may go astray. And when she lives with her husband, that she may remain childless. Keep a strict watch over a wayward daughter, lest she make you a laughingstock to your enemies, a topic of gossip in the city, a subject of conversation among busybodies, and bring you shame before the public. Women, do not stare at anyone's beauty, and do not sit among women. For just as moths come from garments, so a woman's wickedness comes from a woman. Better a man's wickedness than a woman's kindness, for a shameless woman brings disgrace. 2. The glory of God. 1. In nature. I will now recall the works of the Lord. What I have seen, I will recount. By the word of the Lord his works came into being. The sun shines as it looks upon all things, and the glory of the Lord covers his creation. Even the holy ones of the Lord cannot fully recount all his marvelous works. These are the wonders that the Lord Almighty has established, so that the universe may stand firm before his glorious presence. He searches the depths and the human heart, and understands every human design. For the Most High knows all things, and observes the signs of the times. He declares what is past and what is to come, and reveals the traces of hidden things. No thought escapes his knowledge, and no word is hidden from him. In wisdom he has arranged his mighty works, for he exists from eternity to eternity. Nothing can be added to him or taken away, nor does he need anyone as a counselor. How marvelous are all his works! What we can see is but a spark. All these things live and endure forever, for every need, and all obey him. All things come in pairs, one opposite the other. He has made nothing incomplete. One thing enhances the beauty of another, and who can ever tire of beholding his glory? Chapter 43. The sun. Splendor in the heights above, a clear and shining sky. Behold the heavens, what a glorious sight! At dawn, when it appears, the sun proclaims, how marvelous are the works of the Most High! At noon the earth is scorched, and who can endure the heat of the sun? A man may fan a furnace to increase its heat, but the sun is 3 times hotter still, burning the mountains with its rays, breathing out fiery heat, and dazzling the eyes with its brilliant light. Great is the Lord who made it. At his command it hastens on its course. The moon. The moon also keeps its appointed time, an everlasting sign marking the seasons. From the moon come the times of the festivals, a light that wanes and then grows full again. The month takes its name from the moon. By a wondrous cycle it steadily increases, serving as a beacon for the hosts on high. Across the sky the moon shines brightly. The stars. The shining stars are the beauty of the heavens, a splendid ornament in the heights of the Lord. At the command of the Holy One the stars stand ready, and do not fail in their night watches. The rainbow. Look upon the rainbow and bless the one who made it. It is exceedingly beautiful in its splendor, arching across the sky in a radiant circle. The hands of the Most High have stretched it out. The wonders of nature. At his command the snow falls, and he sends forth the lightning of his judgment. Thus the storehouses are opened, and the clouds fly out like birds. By his power he makes the clouds dense, and scatters them into hailstones. The earth trembles at the sound of his thunder. At his gaze the mountains shake. At his will the south wind blows, and the storm from the north and the whirlwind come forth. He scatters snow like birds descending, and it falls like swarms of locusts. Its whiteness astonishes the eye. The mind is amazed as it falls. He pours frost upon the earth like salt, and when it freezes, it forms sharp points. The cold north wind blows, and ice forms upon the waters. It settles upon every body of water, and the water puts on armor as a garment. The scorching wind devours the mountains, and burns the wilderness. Like fire it consumes the green grass. Then suddenly clouds come and bring healing. And after the heat, the dew refreshes all things. According to his plan he calms the deep, and plants islands upon it. Those who sail the sea tell of its dangers, and what we hear amazes us. There are strange and marvelous creatures there, all kinds of living beings and sea monsters. Through him his messengers have a favorable voyage, and by his word all things are ordered. We could say much more, yet never say enough. In a word, he is all. How can we find the strength to glorify him? For he is the great one, greater than all his works. The Lord is awesome and exceedingly great, and marvelous is his power. Exalt and glorify the Lord with all your strength. Yet he will still surpass it. When you glorify him, put forth all your power. Do not grow weary, for you can never reach the end. Who has seen him and can describe him? Who can praise him as he deserves? Many mysteries greater than these remain hidden, for we have seen only a few of his works. Indeed, the Lord has made all things, and he grants wisdom to the godly. Chapter 44. 2. In history. Praise of the ancestors. Now let us praise famous men, our ancestors in their generations. The Lord created many glorious men, great ones from ancient times. Some ruled their nations, and were renowned for their power. Some were counselors because of their understanding. Some proclaimed messages through prophecies. Some guided the people by their counsel, by their knowledge in teaching the people, and by their wise instructions. Some composed melodious music, and wrote poems and songs. Some were wealthy and powerful, living peacefully in their homes. All these were honored by their contemporaries, and were the glory of their times. Among them were those who left a name behind, so that their praises might still be proclaimed. Others have left no memory. They have perished as though they had never existed. They became as though they had never been born. And so it is with their children after them. But the following were godly men, whose righteous deeds have not been forgotten. Their descendants inherit a rich legacy. Their children and grandchildren. Their descendants remain faithful to the covenants, and because of them their children do likewise. Their descendants will endure forever, and their glory will never fade. Their bodies were buried in peace, and their name lives on through all generations. The peoples will proclaim their wisdom, and the assembly will sing their praise. Enoch. Enoch pleased the Lord and was taken up. He is an example of repentance for all generations. Noah. Noah was found perfect and righteous. In the time of wrath he became a remnant. Because of him, a remnant remained on the earth. When the flood came, an everlasting covenant was established with him, that no living creature would again be destroyed by a flood. Abraham. Abraham was the great father of many nations, and no one has equaled him in glory. He kept the law of the Most High, and entered into covenant with him. In his flesh he established the covenant, and in testing he was found faithful. Therefore the Lord swore an oath to him, that through his descendants the nations would be blessed. He multiplied his offspring like the dust of the earth, exalted his descendants like the stars, and gave them an inheritance from sea to sea, and from the great river to the ends of the earth. Isaac and Jacob. With Isaac he made the same assurance, for the sake of Abraham his father, the blessing of all people and the covenant. He placed upon the head of Jacob. He granted him the blessing, and gave him the land as an inheritance. He divided it into portions, and distributed it among the 12 tribes. Chapter 45. Moses. Then from Jacob came a man of kindness, beloved by all, loved by God and by men. Moses. The memory of him is a blessing. He made him equal in glory to the holy ones, and made him great to the terror of his enemies. At his word, he caused signs to cease. He glorified him in the presence of kings, gave him commandments for his people, and showed him a portion of his glory. He sanctified him because of his faithfulness and humility, and chose him from among all mankind. He let him hear his voice, led him into the thick cloud, and face to face gave him the commandments, the law of life and understanding, that he might teach Jacob the covenant, and Israel his decrees. Aaron. He exalted Aaron, the brother of Moses, from the tribe of Levi, a holy man like his brother. He established for him an everlasting covenant, and gave him the priesthood among the people, granting him the honor of wearing glorious vestments, and clothing him with splendid robes. He clothed him with majestic glory, and equipped him with garments of strength and beauty, the linen breeches, the tunic, and the ephod. He surrounded him with pomegranates, and with many golden bells all around, which rang as he walked, their sound echoing throughout the sanctuary, as a memorial for the children of his people. He clothed him with a sacred robe of gold, purple and scarlet yarn, the work of an embroiderer, with the breastpiece of judgment containing Urim and Thummim, made of crimson linen, the work of a craftsman, set with engraved stones like seals, mounted in gold settings, the work of a jeweler, inscribed according to the number of the tribes of Israel, as a memorial before the Lord. And on the turban was a golden ornament, engraved with the words, Holy Consecration. It was a glorious ornament, a marvelous work, carefully crafted and delightful to the eyes. Before him there had never been anything so beautiful, nor had any foreigner ever worn such garments, but only his sons and his descendants forever. The sacrifices he offered were completely consumed, twice each day, continually. Moses himself consecrated him, and anointed him with holy oil. This was an everlasting covenant for him, and for his descendants as long as the heavens endure, that he should minister and serve as priest, and bless the people in the name of God. Among all mankind, he chose him to offer gifts to the Lord, to present incense and a pleasing memorial offering, and to make atonement for the people. Concerning the commandments, he gave him authority to make judgments, to teach Jacob his statutes, and explain the law to Israel. Strangers united against him, and envied him in the wilderness, those who sided with Dathan and Abiram, together with the company of Korah in their furious anger. The Lord saw and was displeased, and they were destroyed in his wrath. He performed fearful wonders against them, consuming them in blazing fire. He also increased the glory of Aaron, and gave him an inheritance. He assigned to him the firstfruits, and above all provided him with bread in abundance. For Aaron and his descendants were permitted to eat the offerings presented to the Lord. Yet in the land of the people he received no inheritance, nor any portion among the people. For I myself am your portion and your inheritance. Phinehas. Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, was the third to be honored, because he was zealous in the fear of the Lord, and stood firm when the people rebelled, with remarkable courage of heart. Thus he made atonement for Israel. Therefore the Lord established with him a covenant of peace, that he should be chief over the sanctuary and over the people, so that he and his descendants might hold the high priesthood forever, according to the covenant made with David, the son of Jesse, of the tribe of Judah. The inheritance of the throne belongs to one son alone, but the inheritance of the priesthood of Aaron belongs to all his descendants. May God grant you wisdom of heart, to judge his people in righteousness, so that the good things left by your ancestors may never perish, and that their glory may be handed down to their descendants. Chapter 46. Joshua. Joshua, son of Nun, was a mighty warrior, and the prophet who succeeded Moses. He was truly great, worthy of his name, for he saved the chosen people, punished the enemies who rose up against them, and secured the inheritance of Israel. How glorious he was when he lifted his hand! and drew his sword against the cities. Who before him had ever achieved such deeds? For he himself fought the battles of the Lord. Was it not by his hand that the sun stood still, and one day became as long as two? He called upon the Most High, the Mighty One, when enemies surrounded him on every side. The great Lord heard him, and sent down a storm of hailstones. He hurled himself against the hostile army, and on the slopes he destroyed his adversaries, so that the nations might know how well equipped his army was. For he fought before the Lord. Caleb. Indeed, Joshua remained faithful to the Mighty One, and in the days of Moses he proved his loyalty. He and Caleb, son of Jephunneh, when they stood against the assembly, prevented the people from sinning, and silenced their evil murmuring. Therefore, out of 600,000 foot soldiers, only these two were spared, to lead the people into their inheritance, into a land flowing with milk and honey. The Lord gave Caleb strength that remained with him throughout his old age. He enabled him to ascend the heights of the land, and his descendants received them as an inheritance. Thus all the children of Israel saw that it is good to follow the Lord. The judges, each according to his name, were men who did not worship idols, and did not turn away from the Lord. The memory of them is worthy of blessing. May their bones flourish again from their resting place. May the names of these glorious men live on in their descendants. Samuel. Samuel was beloved by his Lord. He was a prophet of the Lord who established the monarchy and anointed rulers over his people. According to the law of the Lord he judged the assembly, and the Lord watched over Jacob. He was recognized as a prophet because of his faithfulness. By his words, he was known as a true seer. When enemies surrounded him on every side, he called upon the Lord, the Mighty One, and offered a suckling lamb. Then the Lord thundered from heaven, and with a mighty roar, he made his voice heard. He crushed the rulers of Tyre, and all the leaders of the Philistines. Before he fell asleep in death, he testified before the Lord and his anointed, I have not taken anyone's property, not even a pair of sandals. And no one accused him. Even after he had fallen asleep, he still prophesied, foretelling to the king what would happen to him. From the depths of the earth he raised his voice, to utter a prophecy and remove the wickedness of the people. Chapter 46. Joshua. Joshua, son of Nun, was a mighty warrior, and the prophet who succeeded Moses. He was truly great, worthy of his name, for he saved the chosen people, punished the enemies who rose up against them, and secured the inheritance of Israel. How glorious he was when he lifted his hand and drew his sword against the cities. Who before him had ever achieved such deeds? For he himself fought the battles of the Lord. Was it not by his hand that the sun stood still, and one day became as long as two? He called upon the Most High, the Mighty One, when enemies surrounded him on every side. The great Lord heard him, and sent down a storm of hailstones. He hurled himself against the hostile army, and on the slopes he destroyed his adversaries, so that the nations might know how well equipped his army was. For he fought before the Lord. Caleb. Indeed, Joshua remained faithful to the Mighty One, and in the days of Moses he proved his loyalty. He and Caleb, son of Jephunneh, when they stood against the assembly, prevented the people from sinning, and silenced their evil murmuring. Therefore, out of 600,000 foot soldiers, only these two were spared, to lead the people into their inheritance, into a land flowing with milk and honey. The Lord gave Caleb strength that remained with him throughout his old age. He enabled him to ascend the heights of the land, and his descendants received them as an inheritance. Thus all the children of Israel saw that it is good to follow the Lord. The judges, each according to his name, were men who did not worship idols, and did not turn away from the Lord. The memory of them is worthy of blessing. May their bones flourish again from their resting place. May the names of these glorious men live on in their descendants. Samuel. Samuel was beloved by his Lord. He was a prophet of the Lord who established the monarchy and anointed rulers over his people. According to the law of the Lord he judged the assembly, And the Lord watched over Jacob. He was recognized as a prophet because of his faithfulness. By his words, he was known as a true seer. When enemies surrounded him on every side, he called upon the Lord, the Mighty One, and offered a suckling lamb. Then the Lord thundered from heaven, and with a mighty roar, he made his voice heard. He crushed the rulers of Tyre and all the leaders of the Philistines. Before he fell asleep in death, he testified before the Lord and his anointed, I have not taken anyone's property, not even a pair of sandals. And no one accused him. Even after he had fallen asleep, he still prophesied, foretelling to the king what would happen to him. From the depths of the earth he raised his voice, to utter a prophecy and remove the wickedness of the people. Chapter 48. Elijah the prophet. Then Elijah appeared, a prophet like fire, whose word burned like a blazing torch. He brought a famine upon the people, and by his zeal he reduced their number. By the word of God he shut up the heavens, and 3 times he brought down fire. How glorious you were, Elijah, in your wondrous deeds! Who can boast of being like you? By the word of the Most High, you raised a dead man from death, and from the realm of the dead, you brought kings down to destruction, and hurled mighty men from their beds. At Mount Sinai you heard rebuke, and at Horeb you heard sentences of judgment. You anointed kings to execute judgment, and prophets to succeed you. You were taken up in a whirlwind of fire, in a chariot drawn by horses of fire. You were designated in the rebukes concerning the times to come, to calm God's wrath before it bursts forth in fury, to turn the hearts of fathers back to their children, and to restore the tribes of Jacob. Blessed are those who have seen you, and those who have fallen asleep in the love of God, for we too shall surely live. Elisha the prophet. When Elijah was hidden in the whirlwind, Elisha was filled with his spirit. Throughout his life, no ruler could shake him, nor could anyone overpower him. Nothing was too difficult for him. And even after his death, his body retained prophetic power. During his lifetime he performed wonders, and after his death he continued to work marvels. Unfaithfulness and punishment. Despite all this, the people did not repent, nor did they turn away from their sins, until they were carried away into exile and scattered throughout the earth. Only a small remnant of the people remained, together with a ruler from the house of David. Among them, some did what was good and pleasing to the Lord, while others increased their sins. King Hezekiah. Hezekiah fortified his city, and brought water into its midst. He cut through the rock with iron, and built reservoirs for water. During the reign of Hezekiah, Sennacherib advanced to attack, and sent Rabshakeh as commander. Rabshakeh proudly raised his hand against Zion, and spoke with arrogant pride. Then the people of Jerusalem were shaken with fear. Their hands trembled and their strength failed them. They writhed in pain like women in labor. They lifted up their hands to the Lord, and cried out to the Merciful One. From heaven the Holy One heard their prayer, and through Isaiah he delivered them. He struck down the camp of the Assyrians. His angel destroyed them. Isaiah the prophet. Indeed, Hezekiah did what pleased the Lord, and remained steadfast in the ways of his ancestor David, just as Isaiah had instructed him. Isaiah was a great prophet, faithful in recounting visions. In his days the sun moved backward, and the king's life was prolonged, filled with the Spirit. He foresaw the events of the last days, and comforted those who mourned in Zion. He revealed the things that were to come, and hidden matters before they occurred, for all generations to come. Chapter 49. King Josiah. The memory of Josiah is like a blend of fragrant spices, skillfully prepared by a perfumer. His memory is as sweet as honey to the mouth, or music at a banquet of wine. He followed the right path, caused the people to repent, and removed the abominations of the ungodly. He set his heart on the Lord, and restored the religious life of the people. At a time when the law was disregarded. The last kings and prophets. Except for David, Hezekiah, and Josiah, all the kings committed sin after sin. The kings of Judah were all cast aside, because they abandoned the law of the Most High. Indeed, they handed over their power to others, and their glory to a foreign nation. They burned the chosen city with its sanctuary, and laid waste all its streets, as foretold by Jeremiah, who was mistreated. Even in his mother's womb he was consecrated as a prophet, to uproot, tear down, and destroy, but also to build and to plant. Ezekiel saw a vision of the glory of God revealed to him upon the chariot of the cherubim. He remembered the enemies overwhelmed by the flood, and supported those who followed the right path. As for the other 12 prophets, may their bones flourish again from their resting place. For they comforted and delivered the house of Jacob, because they remained steadfast in hope. Zerubbabel and Jeshua. How shall we praise Zerubbabel? He was like a signet ring on the right hand. And how shall we praise Jeshua, son of Jozadak? In their lifetime they rebuilt the temple, to restore the sanctuary dedicated to the Lord, and glorify him forever. Nehemiah. Nehemiah also left a lasting memory. He rebuilt our ruined walls, restored the gates and their bars, and rebuilt our homes. Enoch. Among all those created on earth, none was like Enoch, for he was taken up from the earth. Joseph. Among all those born into the world, none was equal to Joseph. He was a leader among his brothers, and a support to his people. His bones were honored and preserved. The first patriarchs, Shem and Seth, are praised by mankind. But among all living creatures that were created, Adam holds the highest place. Chapter 50. Simon the High Priest. Simon was the high priest, son of Onias. During his lifetime he restored the house of God, and in his days he strengthened the temple. He laid foundations twice as high, and raised the walls surrounding the sanctuary. In his time a reservoir was excavated, a pool as large as the ancient Bronze Sea. Concerned to protect the people from destruction, he fortified the city against siege. How majestic he appeared among the people. When he came out from the most holy place, he was like the morning star shining among the clouds, like the full moon on festival nights, like the sun shining upon the temple of the Most High, like the rainbow gleaming among glorious clouds. He was like a rose blooming in springtime, like lilies by flowing waters, like a green shoot of Lebanon in summer. He was like incense burning in the censer, like a vessel of solid gold adorned with every kind of precious stone. He was like an olive tree laden with fruit, like a cypress reaching high into the clouds. When he put on his splendid vestments, and clothed himself in glorious robes, when he ascended to the holy altar, he made the sanctuary radiant with glory. When he received the portions of the offerings from the hands of the priests, while standing beside the altar hearth, the priests, his brothers, stood around him, like a glorious crown, like cedars of Lebanon surrounding him. They stood around him like palm trunks, all the sons of Aaron in their splendid vestments, holding the offerings for the Lord, before the whole assembly of Israel. While performing the rites at the altar, he arranged the offerings for the Most High Almighty. He stretched out his hand over the cup, and poured out the libation of the blood of the grape, at the foot of the altar, a pleasing fragrance before the Most High, King of all. Then the sons of Aaron raised their voices, blew the bronze trumpets, and made a mighty sound, to call the people to remembrance before the Most High. At once all the people fell to the ground, and worshipped the Lord their God, the Almighty and the Most High God. The singers also raised their voices in praise, and the melody resounded sweetly. The people offered prayer and supplication before the Most High, the Merciful One, until the worship of the Lord and the liturgical celebration were completed. Then Simon came down, stretched out his hands over the whole assembly of the children of Israel, and pronounced the blessing of the Lord. Thus he was honored to proclaim his holy name. Once again the people bowed down, to receive the blessing from the Most High. A prayer of blessing. Now bless the God of all, who everywhere does great things, who exalts our lives from the time we are in our mother's womb, and deals with us according to his mercy. May God grant joy to our hearts, and may peace be ours all the days of our life. in Israel forever and ever. May he continue his mercy toward us and deliver us in our own days. Against 3 nations. My soul detests 2 nations. And the third is not even a nation. The people who live on Mount Seir. The Philistines. And the foolish people who dwell in Shechem. Conclusion. This book contains the teaching of wisdom and understanding. Of Jesus son of Sirach, son of Eleazar. Of Jerusalem. The wisdom stored in his heart. He poured forth like rain. Blessed is the one who meditates on these words. Whoever takes them to heart will become wise. For if they put them into practice, they will be strong in every circumstance. For the light of the Lord will guide the paths on which they walk.